So this is really, really big news. I've been saying this for a very, very long time that video, okay? It's all about video in the 21st century, okay? And this is somebody being an author, being somebody who's a writer, being somebody who's published books, right? You know, I'm not in any way saying that writing is going to become obsolete. I also write a lot of blogs too. However, if you're not incorporating video in your strategy, if you're not incorporating some semblance of the predominant form of communication in the 21st century, I think you're going to be left out. I think you're just missing out on what the attention and where the market is really going right now and how people are communicating. You know, I've been advocating that video is going to become the predominant form of communication in the 21st century. I was actually talking to a colleague last night where I even mentioned that, you know, instead of people leaving comments, and I'd love your thoughts, and I'm going to get to the big news if you haven't heard. And believe me, if you're watching this right now and you know what I'm talking about, leave that in the comments because I'm curious if you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, I was talking to a colleague last night, a good friend of mine, and, you know, we were discussing, and I actually think not only is video going to really dominate all of the real social media platforms, but I think that video is going to just dominate communications, period. Facial, FaceTime, vocal, audio, video interface, and that way of communicating is going to replace comments. It's going to replace emails. It's going to replace the small form ways of communications, especially if you're a marketer, I think, especially if you're somebody who cares about leveraging your message and services and products and goods to the world. I also host with two amazing colleagues, Steve Gamlin and Tim Knox. I also host a podcast called The Digital Entrepreneur Show. As a matter of fact, I'd like to maybe share this to that page if possible. Let me go ahead and share this. I'm going to share this to the page here. Give me 1 second, guys. Thank you so much for your patience. Leave in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Big news. Big news on LinkedIn that LinkedIn just announced. Really huge news that LinkedIn just announced. And I want to tell you about it. So are we ready? Are we ready to figure out let me know, Periscope, how the audio is. Are we ready to hear the big news? Oh, Eric, I can talk about that a little bit. No problem. Eric says, I'd like to start a podcast. It's very, very simple. First of all, don't worry. If you're talking about the technical aspects, that's the least of your problems. And I'll discuss that a little bit. So the big news is that LinkedIn, okay, the most professional network on the internet today. And I'd like to talk a little bit about how people think that LinkedIn is like Facebook or LinkedIn is like social media. It's really not. Like, LinkedIn is not a typical social network like an Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, or even Twitter, really. LinkedIn is the premier network cocktail party for businesses. It's one of the greatest, if not, I think, the greatest platforms where you can network and meet the right people and get jobs and get hired and recruit team members and connect with other businesses in your niche and really amplify your message. I mean, this is not your average ordinary website. LinkedIn is the real deal, and it's and I don't want to say serious, but yeah, it's more serious than Facebook. And even though Facebook has turned into this business entity, this major business entity, it still is not near the level of ethos that I think LinkedIn entails. And what LinkedIn has done further confirms my advocacy that video is the predominant form of communications in the 21st century. So what has LinkedIn done? Can I get a drum roll? Anybody get a drum roll? So LinkedIn has just recently added native video to their mobile app. Now, I don't have it yet, even though that's my strongest platform. I've got 5,000 followers on LinkedIn. I don't have it yet. It's slowly rolling out. But LinkedIn, thank you, Eric. But LinkedIn has added native video And if I'm incorrect, correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody knows this, I think the native video is you can actually record up to 10 minutes. Think about the possibilities, guys. Think about the possibilities. Think about what that entails. 10 minutes. Hey, how you doing, Tim? Good to see you, Tim. Tim Longwell in the house. Been on LinkedIn for years. B2B reach there is off the charts. I could not agree more. And I think the fact that, Tim, I'm sure you know this and others know this as well, I think the fact that you've got one of the biggest corporations of all time, one of the biggest tech giants of all time, Microsoft, who just paid $26 billion to acquire LinkedIn earlier this year, and I think they just closed the deal in March or April, they're not stupid. And that's going to even add even more leverage. And 500 million members and strong does not lie. I have made enormous strides in my digital consulting business, my career coaching, life coaching, executive coaching business, my digital business. And I'm also growing my live video marketing consulting business on there as well. I've made, great amounts of money. Thank God. I'm very blessed. I love LinkedIn. I feel like a LinkedIn ambassador. I've been in talks with LinkedIn, with their actual sales team and marketing team. And I'm just so proud of what they're doing. And this latest release, I think, is a bold and smart move. Dare I say, LinkedIn, are you going to incorporate some kind of live video interface? Wow. Think of the possibilities. Think of the intimacy. Think of the intimacy of what video brings to the table instead of just these real narcotizing mechanical messages, okay, that almost feel like you don't know if they could be automated. You don't know if they're created by a bot or by a human being. Imagine the possibility. Tim said it best with the B2B and the connectiveness and networking. I think LinkedIn is the ultimate professional network cocktail party. I'll say it again. There's no other website that you can connect more with your audience and connect more with your targeted audience. If you do it right, if you do it properly, right? And imagine what video can bring to that. Imagine sending a personal video. I've said it before. I know others have said it too. I think that video, specifically live video, humanizes your brand, okay? Instead of being, I think that the greatest way to really engage on a personal, more in-depth level, I think, is I can't think of a better platform. I can't think of a better medium than video. And it really complements my personality, which is why I love it even more. Eric asks, is LinkedIn good for social issues? Be more specific. Like, are you talking like abortion? Are you talking about those type of social issues, civil rights, things of that nature, or equal rights? It's just like any other platform. It depends on how you use it. I have seen a lot of social advocacy issues on LinkedIn. I would say primarily LinkedIn is more of a way to connect with people related to your business and related to what you do for a living and how you and your work. Okay, it's more of a work-oriented space. However, I've seen a lot of discussions, and I would be the first to say it's very difficult to separate your social political views from your work. So maybe that's something that I've been seeing a lot more of that. I don't really get too involved in all of that because I just think that those are really heated. It's kind of like the old adage, the old bartender. I used to be a bartender when I was very, very young. And one of our maxims, one of our sort of, golden rules was you don't mention politics, you don't mention religion, because those two topics, they just get really, it's difficult to have a real constructive, intelligent, practical, engaging conversation with those two topics because people are so emotionally invested. Tim says, MS was one of the early prophets of the future of video, even back in their early days. Microsoft, Gates suspected we would reach this point a long time ago. Yeah, and he's right. I think he's absolutely right. It's just amazing to me. So what do you guys think? How are you guys using LinkedIn? Are you on LinkedIn? Have you connected with me, Professor Nez? And yes, my name is Professor Nez on LinkedIn. That is my name. That is my brand. That's what I do. I am an educator at heart, a storyteller at heart. And that's how I run my business. That's how I teach in higher education. And I teach mostly writing. I teach mostly communications, storytelling, rhetoric, composition, things of that nature, how to engage your audience, how to create a compelling message. That's what I teach. Poly and religion are too polar, touches emotional level. Yeah. Yeah, so I couldn't agree more. So I mean, you can advocate all sorts of. Yes, I do. You can advocate all sorts of issues, but if you want to remain, I think if you're interested in, and by the way, this your business, your platform might be heavily tied in to your beliefs. I mean, there's a lot of you know businesses that their philosophy or their ideology is heavily integrated into their business and into their business message. And that's beautiful. That's fine. But what this scope is all about, what this stream is all about, is the fact that this is becoming more and more, a absolute staple in the space of communication, networking, engagement, marketing, right? Digital storytelling, video. And I love live video because I can engage with you guys very easily without a lot of technical wherewithal. Somebody asked a question earlier about podcasting. Podcasting is coming back in a very, very big way. And podcasting is mostly audio. Well, I mean, it's predominantly audio. I think that live video is, in a sense, podcast form in a more visual aesthetic, because I have an interview show. That I execute called Nez Nation Live, where we bring on guests who are doing creative things in their respective fields. I'm sorry, ask that question again, Eric, in a second. Humans are visual creatures. Very good, Tim. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to pin your comment there. I like your comment, Tim. And so you have all these beautiful, beautiful, practical ways to reach people, let's just, forget about business. It doesn't even necessarily have to do with business. Just to get your 2 cents out there in the world. There's no technical barrier now anymore. I mean, every single platform pretty much has stories now. Facebook has stories, Instagram has stories, Snapchat, has been there for a long time, maybe even pioneered the genre. Everybody's Twitter has video integration, Periscope, live video. Pretty much every platform has live video, including YouTube. I think LinkedIn, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if LinkedIn didn't go live video either. I think that live video is the #1 way to humanize your brand and to really integrate, right? And to really integrate your message, your product, your goods, your service, and really engage with your audience on a deeper level, I think. And I think LinkedIn jumping in on stories, I think LinkedIn jumping in on video, especially native video. I think my mind is just blowing up with the possibilities. My mind is just exploding with all the different possibilities, especially B2B. Wow. I mean, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. And is it perhaps too much? Although I was getting a lot of other questions, is it perhaps too much? Are we getting kind of out of control, out of hand with all these sort of story-esque types of interfaces? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's only out of hand, I don't think it's the technology. I don't think it's just the way it is, right? I mean, it's just the way it is. It's kind of the same thing when everything started getting big online. Was it just a fad do you think LinkedIn, okay, sorry, Eric, do you think LinkedIn can help with a social issues podcast? That's an interesting question. Can you be more specific? Like what type of social issues? I think if you can somehow integrate, I really truly feel LinkedIn is a professional business website. Okay. And it is a website, just like YouTube is a website. They're all websites, right? I think that, if you're somebody who wants to advocate for social issues, you just create your own podcast on iTunes and SoundCloud or Stitcher or Google Play. And, that's a whole different type of SEO. That's a whole different type of market. You can still advertise and market, I think, your podcast on LinkedIn in very crafty, subtle ways, intelligent ways. You don't want to bombard people. You don't want to be too aggressive or too slimy as far as like salesiest, type of vibe. But, you know, really, here's the thing, and maybe this will answer your question on a broader level, I think, Eric. Oh, no, absolutely. That's fantastic. No, I really appreciate the question, Eric. Absolutely. I'm trying to help. I totally, no reason to be sorry. Fantastic. I love your questions. It really means a lot to me. And I'm still learning too. You know, even though I do a lot of consulting, and even though I've been in this game for 28 years, you know, as far as like the communication, storytelling, and writing and messaging game, I know I don't ever want to consider myself an expert. I really, truly don't ever want to consider myself an expert. And, you know, there's a lot of my colleagues, oh, that's bad. That's bad. If you're trying to get money, if you're trying to create a business, you have to brand yourself as an expert. I don't belittle my audience that way. I don't insult my audience's attention that way. I don't think I have to fake it till I make it. I think I can be really authentic and genuine and say, here's my experience. Here's where my experience lies. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm the end all and be all and I know better than everybody else. Right? That's why I really believe in collaborative learning. What's collaborative learning? We're all in this together. Get your ego out of the way. Talk to each other. Communicate. You're a human being. And I don't think it's about quantity. It's about quality. I don't think it's about how many years experience you have. I don't think it's about how many years you've been on the planet. What did you do with those years? What was the actual application of those years? What was the quality imbued within those years, right? What did you do? You know, I know a lot of people just sit around on their butt for 20 years, not really keep up to date, you know, with the latest trends and the latest innovations in their field. And they still, you know, advertise themselves as experts. Well, what are you an expert in? Sitting around and not doing anything? Just because you've had the job title? Yeah, absolutely. Sad but true. Social issues need money. Hence, it's a business. Yeah, but there's ways to do it, right, Eric? And I think live video, honestly, Eric, I think you can do what we do on the Digital Entrepreneur Show, and I wasn't really going to talk about this, but this is really interesting. It's a great question. You can do what we do on the Digital Entrepreneur Show, which is we record our podcast. We record it through video. We post it. We have our YouTube channel. We have our Facebook business page, and what we do is we extricate the audio, right? We snip the audio out and turn that into a podcast. That's really smart. That's just really intelligent, you know, content marketing and repurposing. That's just getting more value, more bang for your content, right? I plan on doing the same thing. I've got 2 live stream shows, and you know, one is called Nez Nation Live. You can see the hashtag right here, Nez Nation Live. That's an interview show where I have guests come on and talk about, you know, basically the whole show is about them and their story and how they've been creating and charting their course, you know, in whatever field that they're in. I've had photographers on, I've had YouTubers on, I've had wellness experts on, physical trainers on. I mean, I've had various backgrounds. It's always been a dream of mine to have a talk show. And then I have my Mindset Mondays, my Mindset Live show, which again, this is recent too, Eric. I think you'll get a kick out of this. And those of you watching on Facebook, this is recent in the sense that I've been doing Mindset Live for about 2 years now. Nez Nation Live launched this year in March. And I've just recently kind of been reorganizing, refocusing, and I want to get a set schedule. So Mondays is going to be Mindset. That's going to be in the morning. And yeah, Eric, you should follow me, and I'll teach you everything you need to do, and you can do it. Trust me. And go to my Facebook business page or my YouTube channel, hit subscribe. There's tons of videos to show you how to do all this. Just Google Professor Nez. That's all you need to do, and all my stuff shows up. Just Google Professor Nez. Mindset Monday, my Mindset Live show, I'm planning on doing Monday morning, and tentatively we're at 8 a.m. Pacific. So that's 11 o'clock. No. Yeah, 11 o'clock Eastern. I can't. Writing professor, not a math professor. Steve always gets on me on this. And then Nez Nation Live will be Friday night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard. So yeah, this is where it's at. And Professor Nez, what are you doing with these shows? First of all, Eric, you have to ask yourself, do you love doing it? Don't just do it because you want to be famous. Don't just do it. Do you think that multilateralism is the solution to strengthen the economy? I have no idea. I'm not smart enough to answer that question. Don't just do it because you think this is the latest trend or the latest fad, because it will come across that way to your audience. Your audience is intelligent. Do not belittle your audience. Hello from the Ukraine. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. I think you have to first start with, and I know it sounds cheesy, but it's not. You have to first start with intention. You have to first start with your purpose, and you have to actually enjoy it. Because enthusiasm is contagious. Enthusiasm is the most contagious disease out there. Okay, if it, I'm not to characterize it as a disease, but it's infectious. Yeah, philosophy buff, very cool. You'd love my stuff, I think, Eric. Thank you for connecting. I definitely think you should go check out and I'd love your comments too. I'd love your thoughts. Thank you for joining, my friend. You have to first love it. You have to first have intention, purpose, strategy. Okay, I don't think just getting up and hitting the live button and vomiting all over the camera is a smart strategy. I think there's too many people doing that. What's your intention? What's your purpose? Like, for example, thank you so much, Eric. I appreciate that. So what's your intention? What's your purpose? So for example, here's my purpose today. I am a LinkedIn ProFinder member. I contract consulting services. I have my consulting business on LinkedIn ProFinder. I've been hired by them. I'm a big believer in the power of video. I'm a big believer in the power of digital communications and digital storytelling in the 21st century. And this was really huge news. I mean, this was really big news, and I wanted to get on with my audience and talk to you about it. So there was an intention, there was a purpose. Now, I'm not scripting any of this. You can script your streams if you want, or you can script your videos and you can script your podcast. Definitely you want some type of script for more pre-recorded. But for my live, I just like to get up here and be as honest and transparent as possible, to be honest. Whether that's good or bad, I have no idea. Warning, picking on you, get out of bed and make it 8 or 9 Eastern, dude. Okay. Well, you can always watch the replay, Tim. I think that's going to be too early for me, man. That's going to be way too early for me. Really? 8 or 9 Eastern. That would be 6 a.m. my time. You got to be, that's crazy. You're out of your mind, man. I can't do that. I don't think I'd be functional. Look how cool this cup. My students made this for me. Let me show Periscope first. My students made this for me. Look how cool that is. Isn't that cool? My students made this for me. It says Nez Nation on there. I love this. This is my fuel. This is my fuel right here, my coffee. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing too. Tim. And I know you're joking. and that's the cool thing is I'm going to be repurposing all this stuff. I'm going to be repurposing every single show, and it will be on iTunes. It'll be on Google Play and SoundCloud. I'm going to get that. And so you'll be able to watch the replay. But here's another thing too. Since we've kind of turned this show into how to start a broadcast and how to start a live show, or a podcast or anything. I learned this the hard way. I used to cater my scheduling. If you notice Nez Nation Live, my talk show, it was sporadic. Sometimes there would be, hey, 11:30 a.m., hey, 9 p.m., hey, today's guest is going to be on at 7. It was just sporadic. It was all over the place. And it was really hurting me, actually, because I was catering to the guests and I was catering to the audience. You got to do a time that's best for you. You got to do a time. 11 Eastern is already half my day gone. Holy macro. What are you, a Navy SEAL, Tim? My goodness. You got to do what's best for you. You got to do what works best for you. If I don't do or choose or select the time that works best for me, I'm not going to be able to provide my best for you. And it's going to come off that way. It's going to come off very sluggish, and it won't have the kind of quality that I really demand, not only of myself, but that I hope to project to you guys, my audience, right? I mean, I want these shows to be the best live stream shows, which they are pretty much. Hello. I mean, I want them to be the best live stream shows on the planet, period, bar none. I want them to be highly educational, highly valuable, and capital FUN sprinkled all over it. Because if it's not fun, I've seen some live streams. I'm not going to call out anybody or name any names. Yeah, I mean, but just like in any genre, there's actually a lot of great live streamers out there. There's a lot of great broadcasters out there who've really taken this medium to the next level. But, I've now decided that I need to have a consistent time. a consistent weekly day, a consistent position, a consistent slot, so that it's really very functional for me and practical for me, and I can perform at my best. I can execute at my best, as well as, I need to get, yeah, exactly, Eric, exactly. As well as, and I'm hoping to God this one isn't, although I've done a lot of mindless scopes myself. Eric says there's a lot of mindless scopes out there. It's funny. Ironically, Mindset Live, my Mindset Live show, I want you to leave your mind out the door, but that's a different type of mindless. That's a mindless that's really equated with freedom. So, but not to get too into that. I don't want to get too esoteric right now. So yeah, so that's the deal. And I'm locking in all my guests. I'm getting, a pretty good slew of people to be on the show. And by the way, I'm always open to you guys. Please feel free to reach out to me, DM me, private message me. Let me know a little bit about what you do. Go watch some of the shows on my Facebook business page. There's an archive of every Nez Nation live. There's even some Mindset lives on there. And yeah, too many scopes are about smoking weed. Yeah, that might be more entertaining than mine. I don't know. I hope not, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe it could be. I might watch some of those. Nah, doubt it. You can go watch some of the previous episodes and the recordings on my YouTube channel. Actually, my YouTube channel is probably really the best place to really check out everything, because I've got separate playlists. Again, if you just Google Professor Nez, you'll find all of that information, and you'll find my YouTube channel, I think, comes up on the first page, since it is Google. And another additive, to the LinkedIn sort of premise, the number one search on Google, the number one search. No, absolutely, Eric. Thank you. The number one. I'm glad you discovered me, Eric. Fantastic. I feel great that you discovered me. The number one search, the number one thing that usually comes up on Google when you Google yourself, if you don't have a huge digital presence online, the number one thing that comes up on search, Google yourself right now, is your LinkedIn profile. I can't tell you guys how many leads I've received. I can't tell you. Those of you who don't know, I do career coaching, and LinkedIn profile coaching as well is included in that. And, I have tried and true methods on how to really optimize your LinkedIn profile to attract the right kind of people. It's huge. I mean, LinkedIn is huge. I can't tell you how much it's helped my business. I can't tell you how much freedom it's allowed me, being somebody who's an online entrepreneur. Thank you so much, Eric. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me know what you think of the videos. And thank you for joining. Sincerely, I want to help you, and I want to further our conversation. Like my warning said, picking on you, I agree you have to schedule a time to deliver your best quality. Thank you, Tim. Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. So LinkedIn, your LinkedIn profile comes up first on search. So tell me it's not important to have an optimized LinkedIn profile. Tell me it's not important to have a presence on LinkedIn. Microsoft is not stupid. It's the same thing I say to people who think live video is just a joke. It's just a fad. Do you think that Mark Zuckerberg is an idiot, right? Do you think that Jack Dorsey of Twitter Live, the CEO of Twitter, do you think that he's an idiot? Do you think that the executives and the people in charge at YouTube are idiots? Why is every single platform going all in on video, specifically live video? They're not stupid. They are very smart, intelligent people. These are the people who basically run the entire internet, if you really think about it. And everything is done on the internet. So you can make another connection that these are the people who are governing really the sort of zeitgeist of our times, the culture of our times. They're directing culture, both physical, emotional, intellectual, right? Ideological. They're governing our culture, right? And they're going all in on video. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Just think about this. That's all. Just think about this. So if you have intention, if you have purpose, and you have some kind of strategy, the technical aspects are nil. Again, click of a button. If you have any kind of device, I never say just go live, though. I never say that. Excuse me while I get some coffee. You know, I never say, just hit that button and go live. I never just say that. I think it's as easy as that, but I think you should have some now, not to say that I haven't had live streams that go completely off the cuff. Unlike my classes, they never go off tangents or tangential. This stream has pretty much gone off the cuff. I'm positive. But that happens, and that's beautiful because that's how conversation is. That's how human interaction is. Human conversation and human interaction is rarely linear, right? It goes all over the place. That's the beauty of it. That's what I actually love about it. That's what I love about the power of conversation. And don't get it twisted. That's what all this is. All this is just a conversation, pure and simple. Forget the medium. Forget the screens. Forget the molecular sort of the digital molecularness of it all and the pixelation in between us. It's a conversation. Whether you're talking about marketing, whether you're talking about social issues, whether you're talking about a cause you care about, political, economical, right? Business to business, business to consumer, whatever aspect you're talking about, it's just a conversation. That's purely what it is just a conversation. So do you have something to talk about? Don't be afraid to, allow the conversation to take its own course, because it will. I just released a YouTube video called The Top 3 Skills Employers Look For in a New Hire. And one of those skills is adaptation. I think adaptation should have been number 1. I think flexibility was, which, yeah, it was number 1, actually. I think that's absolutely important. And don't be afraid of the unknown. Don't be afraid of the direction that it takes. You just be you. You just do the best you can and react, adapt. Be observant, pay attention, be here, be now. Flexibility is huge. You must be flexible in your views. You must be flexible in the different directions that your company might take, the different directions your message, your story, your brand might take, the different directions of the market. The market is completely changing. The market's changing every single day, it seems like. And it's just going to change more and more and more. In the last 5 years, it's changed exponentially, right? I mean, if you're not online or you don't have some type of online presence in 2017 and beyond, it's over for you. I mean, it's absolutely over. I would truly say that. I can say that with no shadow of a doubt. You don't have some type of online presence that really communicates who you are effectively, it is over. Hey, legend. Thank you. Now, speaking of business, even though I'd love to talk to you guys forever, I do have a client that I'm meeting with very shortly. Just to kind of wrap up the stream, if I may, and I'd love to, if there's any further questions, I'm happy to answer a few more. Just to kind of wrap up, if you are not incorporating some type of video communication, excellent, I'll check that out. Thank you. Leave the link in the comments, please. Absolutely, that sounds great. If you are not, and maybe Legend, you can speak to this. If you are not leveraging video in any type of strategy to communicate who you are to the world, I think you're missing a huge piece of the puzzle. And if you have fear, anxiety, or any type of hesitation about pressing that record button, pressing that live button, come talk to me. I'd love to help you. Reach out to me. Send me a message. DM me. Yeah, it's not the medium, though, I would say. Is that Christine? Christine, it's not the medium. It's the individual using the medium. You're absolutely right. But so can emails. So can newsletters. So can press releases. So can radio commercials. So can print commercials. So can so can snail mail. Like, everything's annoying, right? But it depends on the user. It's so funny when people say, like, videos, I hate live video because they're all annoying. Who are you watching? Who are you paying attention to? I hate videos. Videos are, and I'm not calling you out, Christine. You make a great point. But it's not the medium, it's the user. It's the technology. The technology in itself is objective. The technology in itself is moot. It's how you're implementing this. This is why you need somebody like me. You need a marketing consultant. You need a video marketing consultant, like an Owen Video is fantastic, or some people in my circle. You need people like that to help you. And I'm telling you, right, because they've helped me. They've helped me. When I first was doing this, when I first implemented this a couple of years ago, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I mean, I've been a writing professor for a very long time. I've started businesses for a very long time. I understand audience retention, audience engagement, encapsulating attention, why attention is so important. Like, I get all that, but I didn't understand the specific strategies to this specific medium, like SEO, keyword targeted research. You know, what is a paradigm? What is a strategy for conducting a video, specifically a live video, that keeps the viewer engaged the longest, right? But your personality is big. People's personality is big. I truly believe that. Tim says, 3 years ago, video put me on the first page of the 3 big search engines. Absolutely. And it's just going to get more. So LinkedIn has incorporated native video, just to kind of wrap up and really kind of bring this home. And I think they've allowed a lot more. Like Instagram allows 60 seconds of video, native video. Facebook, I don't think, has any limit. I'm not sure. Maybe they do. I can't remember. Twitter has, I think, only 59 seconds. Snapchat, you can upload a minute-long video, but it breaks it down into 10-second snaps. Pinterest, I'm not so sure about because I'm not on Pinterest. I need to branch out soon. Also, I'm going to be selling t-shirts. Nez Nation, baby. Nez Nation, get your branding on. Get your branding on. You see my Nez Nation sign. Get your branding on, y'all. Absolutely. 45 minutes. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Wow, that's pretty long. Thank you so much. I don't think I leverage that enough, actually. I don't think I leverage that native video to Facebook enough, because I've been doing a lot of live video on Facebook. But thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate that. It is the predominant form of communication in the 21st century, video. I think live video, even more so, is a beautiful way to engage your audience. It's a beautiful way to get your story across. And LinkedIn has now incorporated this. Not live video, but they've incorporated video. Video. It's all about video. Are you up to date? Are you leveraging this in any way? Are you incorporating video in your strategy? And if you're, first of all, if you're not doing it for business, bye-bye, see you later. But let's just forget about business for a second, just really quickly. I know I've said this before. You know, leverage it for something that you care about. Leverage it for something that, even if it's silly shit, right? Even if you just want to be silly and comedic, the human soul needs to express itself. We are social animals. We love to share. Nothing means anything to us specifically unless we share it with somebody. Like, for example, I can give you a perfect example. If something beautiful happens to me or something exciting and riveting, it doesn't mean anything until I can share it with my wife. When I share it with my wife, it has that glow, that it's energized with reality. It's energized with something meaningful. The human soul needs to express itself. The medium it's obsolete. Whether that's writing on cave walls, right? Or writing on leaves or putting them in a bottle and sending them. Thank you, Mike. Excellent. Excellent, Mike. Yeah, connect with me, Mike. I'd love to talk to you. Send me a follow or follow me on YouTube or my Facebook business page. I'd really appreciate that. And I'd like to check your stuff out as well. The medium is completely moot. It doesn't matter. It's insignificant what the medium is. The human soul needs to express itself. The predominant form of that expression is the medium of video. And I think live video is even more of a way to humanize who you are. I got to go, but I followed you, so I'll watch the rest. Thank you so much, Legend. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'll check your stuff out too. Thank you, sir. Could you imagine if Shakespeare was alive today? Could you imagine if Abraham Lincoln could have used video to communicate his message, if he had this technology? Could you imagine if Jesus had video, if Buddha had video, had live video? Imagine a live stream by Jesus Christ. We're here in Bethlehem, live, Hi, I'm Jesus Christ, and I want to talk to you about salvation. Is that too controversial? I don't know. I don't think it is. Imagine if Karl Marx, Che Guevara, Martin Luther King. I mean, Martin Luther King had video pretty much, you know, but not as sophisticated as this. Gandhi, St. Francis of Assisi, Genghis Khan. What if Genghis Khan had video? I think we're all related to Genghis Khan, by the way. You can look that shit up on Google. I think we're all related to Genghis Khan. This dude had like 400 mistresses or something. That's a lot of action. I don't know how he conquered so many lands. Where do you find the energy? You got to have fun too, guys. You've got to have fun. Tim says, I had a well-published artist scold me for not sharing my art with the world about 5 years ago. When video came mainstream in some circles, I am the go-to artist if they want an artist's viewpoint on something. Oh, yeah. Tim's a great guy. Yeah, very well said. I don't know about scolding you, but I love your artwork. I love your pictures. I love your photographs and your designs. I think they're great. And I agree. You should share them with the world. And I think what is the main thing holding you back from using video too? By the way, before I leave here and before this ends, I want you guys to leave in the comments, because I got to go, but I want you guys to leave in the comments below, especially if you're on YouTube watching this on the replay. Leave the comments below and let me know how you use video. Let me know what you think of this scope. Let me know what are you doing, and let me know if there's anything holding you back. If you have any questions or concerns, leave those in the comments below and I will get back to them. And I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to click subscribe. Don't forget to follow me. If you want to discover more effective ways to communicate who you are to the world, you've got to follow my channel, because that's what we talk about weekly, plus the live streams. That's just video creation, plus the live streams, Mindset Live and Nez Nation Live. I'm bringing it, y'all. I'm busting some serious brain-busting content to y'all, and I'm not going to stop. I love it. Because I love it. When you love something, you're going to be good at it. I love it. There's nothing better for me than sharing and inspiring. I don't know what it is. You know, I would have brought this much intensity if what I love to do was, you know, be a custodian. I would have been the craziest, most intense custodian on the planet. But that just doesn't make this thing pump. And what am I pointing at right now? My heart. You got to do what makes this thing go like this. Not like this. Safe, 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 safe. Okay, I've got the normal this. I've got the accounting job. I've got the kids. I've got the house. You got to do, if you don't do what does this, your time is done. You're already dead. You're already dead. Somebody just needs to bury you. And I don't want to see that happen to anybody. I don't want to see that happen to anybody. Hey, thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate that. You have a wonderful day. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Legend. Thank you, everybody who's joined me. Thank you, everybody who's checked out the stream. Thank you for watching on the replay. I really, really appreciate it. This is Professor Nez. Don't forget to tune in, find out everything that we're doing, all the streams, all the videos. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow. If you want to discover who you truly are and share that story with the world, this is where you got to go. Thank you so much, Haley. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys very, very soon on the flip side. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you guys next time. Stay tuned.